Yep, that's me. So you're probably wondering what's going on and how I ended up in this situation. I just wanted some fresh air and good views, so I drove all the way down from Toronto to Niagara Falls in Canada. First, I stopped at Maple Leaf Place, where they offered free maple syrup tasting, and honestly, that's all the motivation I needed. It was my first time tasting maple syrup, but it was an amazing experience as it tasted better than I expected. Next was the journey behind the falls, as they called it. I got my ticket and all geared up in a yellow poncho ready to explore. I expected a quiet tunnel where I could take some nice photos, but what I got was a wet echoing reality check. So, descending into cold, echoing tunnels under millions of gallons of water, I felt anxiety creeping in. The sound was deafening, the stone walls were also claustrophobic. But stepping out of the tunnel onto the platform was the amazing view of the falls with a boat inside, of course. You know how some people like to risk their lives, but not me, or so I thought. Then I was like, nah, I must go on this boat cruise because it was lit. I stood face to face with a thundering wall of water and something inside me shifted, but I still stood there, drenched and smiling with no fear. I was like, this is it. I took a couple of blurry photos and videos as my camera was damp, then I left for the boat ride. Of course, this is how the outside of the fall looks like from above, where people can observe without going in. Next was the boat ride, the famous horn blower. I knew I had no business being that close to moving water, but again, pride. So everyone was wearing red ponchos and ready to get on the boat. Then we lined up and took positions once we were in. At this point, people were just struggling to secure the best spots to see the falls and take pictures and videos with their friends and families and create memories while they are on this trip. As you can see, there is another waterfall by the left that is actually the US side of the falls, which is New York. And people are actually exploring from the other side, but this is not as exciting as the Canadian side, which we are heading for. But people still are there. So this is us. We are going to the Canadian side. We're taking pictures and videos, making memories. It's becoming windy and it's becoming more scary because we're closer to the falls, but we are not sure of what we are expecting. Still, we are unshakable at this point. As we moved towards the falls, the mist hit us like it had a personal issue with us, like we were quarreling before. You couldn't see 5 steps ahead anymore. It was so blurry and it became scary that people started shaking, the boat as well started shaking, but men like us mount no level. So everyone was already drenched with cameras unable to capture anything, but we moved. The water pressure was very intense, but the moment we got closer to the falls, everything kind of paused and looked so dramatic. People started screaming again, the boat started shaking. It was surreal. It was an experience like something you've always hoped for, you've always wanted to see. Then the rainbow appeared like nature's way of saying, okay, you made it, I'm done now. And the boat turned around. Fear was successfully conquered. On this trip, I came for views and maple syrup, but I left with some life lessons. Which one of them is that fear is not real. Fear is whatever you make it to be. If you tell yourself that you can do something, then you can do it. But if you tell yourself you can't, then you will never be able to.